Yeah, what's going on, guys? Your boy Vid here back on the Madden 17, and today I got another play for you guys. I did the corner strike last time. It's just a nice little gun bunch weeks game for you guys. I did the corner strike last time. I'm gonna do the corner strike again because I kind of started to talk about this, but then I decided not to. So what we're gonna do is slant our X receiver. Last time I slanted my A receiver. This time I'm gonna slant my X receiver, streak my A receiver, and then this is like a nice little concept. We got our we got a slant flat on the left, and then we have a nice Z spot on the right side. Just like that, slant the X. So snap the ball, and if the flats are open, we're taking the flats. If not, taking the slant. So that's my first read on the left side. You really could either read this from the left side or to the right side first. It's completely up to you, but I'm reading on the left side first for these first couple times. Snap the ball. The flat isn't open. We're hitting the slant, and we are hitting the slant right there. DRC had a pretty good positioning, but he was on the outside, not the inside. Let's go ahead and run this again. We're going to look at the inside first, or on the left side first. Hit our slant, and SNL Glar is going to hold on to. Now we're going to look at the right side first. So let's slant that X, streak the A, snap the ball, looking at the right side first. The first person open is the flat. That's where we're going to dump it down to. Somehow Janoris Jenkins is able to take out Zachers. That's kind of annoying. Snap the ball again. Once again, Ertz is open. We're going to throw a stiffy this time. That we do. Get a nice amount of yards. This time, the flat is probably going to be open, but I'm gonna ignore it on purpose. See, the flat is open. The flat is definitely open. And my A receiver was streaking. That's who I was trying to hit, but I ended up taking a blitz. But like I said, my RB's open. My RB's open right here. But what I'm trying to do is hit my A receiver in that seam, because a lot of the times when he streaks, that's also a nice little thing about having your A receiver streaked instead of your B receiver streaked. You're not going to have any bumping whenever he breaks, which is nice. And sometimes that A receiver gets open in the seams, like right here. You guys are going to see he gets. Of course, man. I should have low pass it, but right there he did a pretty good job at getting open. I just completely missed him. Dump it off to the flats this time because it's open. And Ertz is going to fight forward for a couple of yards. Let's just run this a few more times, man. Streak, or we're going to slant that X. This time I'm going to read it from left, right again. Slant is open across the middle of the field. Aguilar's going to hold on to it. Nice, quick, easy gain. Snap this ball. Once again, our flats are open, and I hate dumping off the flats, but in practice mode, they never shade underneath, so the flats are open a lot of the time. Also, we could slant both of the receivers, which is pretty cool too, because now we just have a slant concept on either side of the field. Wait for them to cross each other to get the most amount of yards. Sometimes, if you just want to hit them right as soon as you snap the ball, you could do that as well. Sometimes they're going to be open, like just like that. Sometimes they're going to be open, but you got to be prepared if they're going to catch in traffic. Unless they're using that, sometimes they're going to have pretty nice catch in traffic. You're going to see they're going to get the most amount of yards after they swap like that, and then you're going to hit either one of them. That's whenever they're going to be most effective. And that's whenever you're going to have to make the user either play the left side or the right side. He's going to have to choose which slant he wants to play. That time you see I get the ball off before they cross, which is another thing that's going to happen every once in a while. This time it's man coverage. The guy who's manned up with the flat is on the other side of the field, so we just dump it off to him real fast. Let's just run it the way we were running it before. Streak that A, slant that X, and it really just comes down to what your opponent is running for what's going to be the most effective. That time we hit the corner out. So just depending on what your opponent is doing, if they're coming out in a lot of cover twos, then you really want to attack the sidelines the best as possible, not the inside. So slanting your receivers doesn't really make the most of sense if they're running a cover two. If they're running a cover two, you want to streak that A receiver. Pull them to to the middle of the field, pull the zones back, and then hit them on the sidelines and make them either pick the top route or the bottom route. Then make it so you gotta make the zones torn between the two. And if they're coming out in a lot of man, run it like this. Run it the first way that I showed you guys, and that slant's gonna be open in the middle of the field, just like this. That was man coverage. We hit the slant over the middle of the field. If you can read a defense, it's gonna help you a lot more. If you could read whether it's gonna be man or zone. Like with this, I'm pretty sure there's going to be man. Let's snap the ball, and it's actually a zone, but we're able to hit our X receiver as he gets over the sidelines. So maybe if you're better at reading defenses pre-snap, like I think this is a cover two man. I'm pretty sure. Snap the ball. That it is. Corner outs get open in man coverage unless they're Dorial Green Beckham. Apparently, Jesus Christ, that was pathetic. Slant that A receiver again. We're actually going to slant both of our receivers this time. Like I said, it's completely up to you how you run it. Just get used to your opponent's consistencies, what they like to run, and you really got to adapt to how your opponent is going to be running their defense. If they're coming out in a lot of man coverage, run the man version of this play. Although every version of this play is going to beat every type of coverage as long as you make the right read. Sometimes some of them are just going to be more effective than others. Like whenever you come out in with the slant and the X, that's really effective, but Like this is a great way. This right here is a great way to run it in man coverage. Um, this is a great way to run it in man coverage. This is a great way to run it in man coverage, but it's also a great way to run it in zone coverage. It's just sometimes depending on the coverage that they're coming out in, one is going to be more effective than the other. Just depends on their personnel, what they use or what they look at first, and it's just completely up to you to figure out, you know, what their first read is and everything along those lines. That time we just dump it off the flat. I think this was actually in that was actually goal line. I probably wouldn't run this play in goal line personally. Let's just go ahead and run this one more time. Slant that X receiver just like that. Streak our A receiver. You know, the first way, the reason why I'm showing you guys this video. Snap this ball, and this time we're actually going to slant over the middle of the field. Nelson Aguilar does a good job, and he's really just confusing your opponent. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little gun bunch week thing. It's really cool how many different ways you can set up this play out of the same, you know, really giving them the same look, but it's just so completely different. Attack all parts of the field. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely give it a like, comment, subscribe, guys. Follow me on Twitter. It's going to be down in the description below. If you're on the group channel, check out my main channel. If you're on the main channel, check out the group channel. No matter what channel you're on, don't forget to check out my live streams at twitch.tv/sheriff_VD. And as always, guys,